Get ready to gear up. We're taking you inside high school sports, your home teams, your rivals. Taking you inside high school football like no one else. Inside all the action. Inside the excitement. Inside all the games that count. This is Whataburger's Inside High School Sports. Welcome to Whataburger's Inside High School Sports. I'm your host, Pat Doney. It is week 10, so there are big, meaningful games all over North Texas. But nothing beats a district title game, right? And for that, we head to Prosper's Children's Health Stadium, where a district title was on the line as Melissa visited Walnut Grove in our Whataburger Game of the Week. Walnut Grove head coach Tommy Allison hoping to lead his Wildcats to back-to-back 4-5A Division II district titles with a win over Melissa. We pick this one up in the third. Melissa down 24-13. Brett Holloway on the keeper scores one of his 4 rushing touchdowns. Cardinals only down 3 after 3. Walnut Grove with the answer in the fourth. Hayes Hackey, pump fake. It gets our cameraman faked out. Doesn't matter. He connects with Nolan Buckles. That's a 66-yard touchdown. The Wildcats are back up 31-21. Melissa gets the ball back. And Holloway goes deep to Dalton DeBabna for a 48-yard touchdown. It's back to a 3-point game, 31-28. Walnut Grove gets the ball back with just under 8 minutes to play. And they milk the clock behind their workhorse, Cam Newton. 40 carries, 172 yards, and 4 touchdowns, including this 1-yarder to close out an almost 6-minute drive. Another district title for Walnut Grove. They win it 38-35. The Illinois commit and workhorse tailback Caden Cobbs, along with his Denton Guyer teammates, taking on Louisville in a District 5-6A tussle. Louisville up 1 at the break, but here comes Cobbs. Up the gut right there for a 4-yard touchdown. Cobbs had 3 rushing touchdowns in the game. Then after a Farmer's turnover, Guyer strikes again. This time Carter Morgan calls his own number, takes a big hit, but he still manages to score. Then the play of the game. Louisville quarterback Trey Williams under pressure all night, swarmed by the defense, and the ball pops loose, and Zane Rose scoops it, and he's gone. 69 yards on the scoop and score, and Guyer has a 19-point lead. What a play there. And then Guyer would put this one away. Zephyr Cry, filling in for Morgan, keeps the ball, sheds a tackler, beats everybody to the pylon, and gets the score. Guyer holds Louisville scoreless in the second half. The Wildcats get the big win. 47-21 your final. A big matchup between Rockwall and Rockwall Heath on Friday night. This rivalry is such a big deal in the community there. With Heath already on the board, Rockwall gets back in it. Brent Rickard to Jack Duckworth. And just like that, we are tied at 7. Heath then gets an outstanding run by quarterback Prosper Neal, who goes all the way for the score here. The Hawks led 21-7 after the first quarter, but Rockwall stays in it. Brent Rickard to Ryan Wiley. That gets the Jackets back in the game. It cut Heath's lead to 24-21, but Heath is able to hold on and get the win. 47-41 your final. SMU-bound Christian Rhodes and unbeaten Lake Highlands in a critical 7-6A matchup with one loss Richardson. Lake Highlands trailed 9-0 late in the fourth when they finally get on the board. Chuck Smith takes it in from 2 yards out. And then the Wildcats go for the onside kick, but you have to check this out. The ball takes a perfect bounce right into the hands of Rico Harris, and Richardson's up 15-7 with less than 3 minutes left. But Lake Highlands goes the length of the field, and with a little over a minute left, Smith finds the end zone here. They go for 2 in the tie, and what do you know? Smith gonna hook up with Conrad Ince, and we are headed to overtime. Wildcats miss a field goal in OT, and Richardson has a chance to go for the win, and they get it. Lucas Sawyer, the dime to Damian Crow. Richardson wins a thriller 21-15. They are 1 win from their first district title since 1992. A pair of unbeatens in 6-5A Division I, West Mesquite and Newman Smith. West Mesquite was not fooling around in this one. Second play from scrimmage. Jamarian Robinson busting through a hole, making a cut, and he is gone. 28 yards on the touchdown, and it's 7-0 just like that. Next possession, it's Kamari Carter's turn. He looks like he's going to bust one too, but he just gets tripped up on this play here. But no worries, because 2 plays later, his quarterback Jalen Dotson picks him up, keeping it on the RPO and scoring. It's 14-0. And then end of the first, 3 possessions, 3 scores. Dotson, this time up the middle. West Mesquite goes to 8-1 with a 35-12 win, clinching back-to-back district titles for the Wranglers. Sticking with 6-5A Division I, WT White hosted hosted North Mesquite with the 4th and final playoff berth in the district on the line. This game was fantastic. Down 23-16 in the third. North Mesquite's Julian Simpson takes the option pitch. He's down the sideline for a 44-yard score, and we are tied at 23. But we were only just beginning. There were 4 touchdowns scored in the first 2.5 minutes of the third. This is a BK. Ben Abike going in for 41 yards of his 292 yards on the ground. And the Longhorns tied at 30. Next possession, Stallions are relieved. Abike doesn't get the handoff, but wait, they're throwing it to him off the fake. Andrew Paredes hooks up with Abike for Ben's 5th touchdown of the night. 37-30, White leads. Tied at 37 in the 4th. Check out the blocking up front, including the pancake by Luis Suarez. That springs Terrence Collins for a 58-yard score. Collins had 198 yards. North Mesquite is up 43-37. Down a point. Less than 2 to play. Collins goes in again. This is his 4th touchdown. North Mesquite is headed to the playoffs for the first time in 10 years with a 51-44 win. An upset win over Bowie by Lamar would put the Vikings in excellent position for a playoff spot. And in the first quarter, it was looking good. Tyrone Thomas runs this in from 45 yards. Thomas had 204 yards and 3 scores in the game. Vikings up 14-0. Second quarter, Lamar still on top. Jaden Shaw to Camille Pruitt. That's a 55-yard touchdown, 24-14 Vikings. Bowie would start to come back behind Denzel Ponder. He goes for 31 of his 188 yards on the ground. Volunteers only down 3 at the half. We fast forward to early in the 4th. Bowie down 38-35. Jaden Bibbs, a 2-yard dart to Deontay Tennyson for the go-ahead touchdown. Bowie wins 45-38, setting up next week's district title match with South Grand Prairie, while Lamar needs a win next week and some help to make the postseason. Well, once again, North Texas is home to some of the most imposing offensive linemen in the state and one of the biggest and baddest plays at Flower Mound. Today's Parker University MVP is Jaguars offensive tackle Drew Evers.
One of the best offensive tackles in the area is Flower Mound's Drew Evers. At 6'4" and over 300 pounds, Evers seals off the edge for his running backs and sandwiches his blocks with his power in the passing game. When the whistle blows, you have to peel Evers off his defender because the senior finishes all of his blocks. Drew joins his older brother Nick as a select few siblings to both receive bobbleheads from the show. Evers will be staying close to home as he's committed to SMU.
He dominated in the trenches, and now he joins us in studio with his new bobblehead, Drew Evers. Man, great to have you here. Congratulations on the bobblehead. Let's first start with this. What do we think of the bobblehead with the glasses and everything? They got the details down, man.
I think it's great. You know, you got the curls, you got, you know, the facial hair, you got the glasses. I think it's awesome.
And you know bobbleheads because your brother had one, and I think this one might be a little better. We'll talk about that in a second. But first I want to talk about what you pride yourself in as an offensive lineman. We saw the video right there. Man, this is a guy who is not afraid to mix it up with the defensive line and to establish dominance there. I love that. What is something that you pride yourself in when you're playing the game and after a game's done you look back and said, I did a great job today?
Well, one thing that, you know, that we live by in the offensive line room at, you know, Flower Mound High School is, you know, take care of your backfield. You know, never let anyone mess with your quarterback, your running back, pick them up off the ground. You know, take care of your guys. You know, everyone's relying on you. You know, you could have a you could do everything right on the offensive line, and the play still might not work out. But if you do something wrong, the play is never going to go right. So
yeah,
taking pride in my backfield is definitely one thing that it has to be done.
Keeping the quarterback clean at all times is a big-time thing. There's no question. Speaking of quarterbacks, you have one in your family. Nick, you joined us years ago, got an MVP bobblehead, now playing at UConn. What has he meant to you? How much have you learned from seeing someone who was a big-time recruit coming out of high school? And whose bobblehead's better, do you think, yours or his? What do you think?
Well, I think it's clear. I think my bobblehead's way better. I don't think it's close. I don't think it's up
the
for debate.
bobbleheads have come a long way, Nick. Exactly.
Yeah, and I'll tell that to his face. Like, I'm not afraid. Like, he knows my bobblehead looks better. But you know, my brother means everything to me. You know, we have a great relationship. You know, growing up, we were always getting into trouble together around the house. And he played a massive part in, you know, not only my recruitment, but ultimately my commitment. You know, he's, you know, kind of been the guinea pig almost. He kind of showed me what it means to be a college athlete at a high level. and what to kind of look for in these coaches and these coaching staffs. So
what an unbelievable role model for you, and he's part of the reason, as you mentioned, that you decided to pick SMU, and you had options all over the country, some of the biggest programs. SMU's rolling right now, though. Why were the Mustangs the right pick for you to play college football, man?
For me, it was a no-brainer. You know, I love Coach Lashley. I love Coach Justice. You know, they're awesome. You know, they've been consistent with me since, you know, 8th, 9th grade. Whenever they first offered me, they let me know, like, hey, dude, we want you. Like, we want you bad. And that meant a lot. That meant a lot to me. Like, that goes a long way. Whenever you're consistent and you show up, I think the best thing, that's the best thing. That's the best quality to have in somebody, especially a coach. You know, someone who's going to show up for you and fight for you, regardless of what's going on. So that played a massive role, and just being close to home was also something that was important for me and my family. You know, we're very close family, family oriented. So
going to be awesome for them to be able to see you play on Saturdays easily there in Dallas. Cannot wait to see you in the future there at SMU, man. Congratulations on the MVP bobblehead, and appreciate you joining us here in studio.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, when we come back, it's time for more Week 10 highlights, and our inside story gets you ready for basketball season with some fun at Denton Guyer. Stay with us. Our Kubota Country Roads takes us to Better Life Stadium in North Forney as the Falcons were hoping to clinch a playoff spot with a win over Longview. First quarter, Legend Bay launching one 32 yards to Eli Otieno for the touchdown. North Forney's up 21-7, but Longview would score 5 straight touchdowns, including this 55-yard bomb from Johnny Hamilton to Jaden Herndon, who had 8 catches for 195 yards. Lobos were in complete control of 42-21 at the half. Falcons regroup at the break and attack. This is Andikin Azuku at his own 7. Huge hole, and watch the foot race. Showing off the impressive speed, he pulls away from the competition, 93 yards on the touchdown run, and the Falcons are plugging away. Then it's Legend Bay on the keeper. And talk about blazing speed, look at the Tennessee commit taking off. 62 yards, and North Forney scores 28 in the third to come all the way back to tie it at 49 after 3. Fourth quarter, the comeback is complete. Bay goes in from the 1, 377 total yards for Bay. North Forney is playoff bound with a 56-55 win. What a comeback in that game. All right, the Cardinals of Fort Worth Christian welcomed in Fort Worth All Saints for a TAPS District 1 matchup. All Saints with a little trickery here as they fake the punt, and Gavin Beard, who's the quarterback, hits Keon Atkins, who picks up the first down and then a little more. That led to this. Beard throwing the floater to Keelan Lemon, who gets in for the touchdown. All Saints up 7-0. And then a little later, Beard going to the air again, cutting loose on a beauty, and he finds Hudson Reeser, who makes a tremendous catch down the sidelines. That led to a Saints field goal, and they roll from there. They get the big road win, 41-21 over Fort Worth Christian, to move to 9-0 on the season. The football playoffs are in 2 weeks, and before you know it, we'll be talking about the road to state in hoops, too. Basketball practices are underway, and our Kia Inside Story tells us the defending 6A Division II champs at Guyer got their season started off with some family fun.
Last year, Denton Guyer rode the hot hand of Silas Rodriguez to win its first ever state championship in basketball. And now, with official practices beginning across Texas for boys basketball, the Wildcats are looking to defend that title.
Coming off a state championship is definitely a different feeling. I think we celebrated that thing through the spring and summer and really enjoyed the accomplishment because it was a huge deal. But as soon as I kind of first practice hit yesterday, it was a new season, different team. But there's always been expectations here.
But that title defense would have to wait for one more night of fun. Guyer hosted their Hoops and Haunts celebration that not only featured a trunk or treat for the kids, but some fun for the players and their dads, too. Some of the varsity, JV, and 9th grade players would team up with their fathers for a 2-on-2 father-son tournament.
Our families do a great job of supporting them, being there for them, and it gets them kind of in the mix and seeing what our boys go through, and expect a lot of them to be sore tomorrow.
Nothing like bonding with dad over the sport you both love, and putting to rest some family arguments as well.
I mean, yeah, I've always asked him, what was your highest scoring game, or what did you and your friend back in the day, big man, all that stuff. So, yeah, it's just cool to be on the court with them, just playing 2-on-2, I mean, our chemistry's there, so we can get whatever we want.
I for sure was talking to him about the old days, and we've been talking strategy all week, and just coming out here and trying not to get hurt, have fun, build a little community with Guyer.
For me, I was trying not to be out here, honestly. And so I kind of got voluntold into this. But it's fun. I want to come out and have fun with my grandson and see if I had a little bit left in me.
And what you find out?
I have a little bit left in me.
As teams moved on in the bracket, the competitive juices did as well. It quickly went from having a bonding experience with dad or granddad to serious business.
I feel like this next game, we're going to need to start, like, really turning it up, you know, and if we get past then, it'll be no playing around, straight business.
Yeah, it's going to be no friends at that point.
Yeah.
No friends.
Got to play for blood.
We can be friends later.
To me, it was like, if we get this first one done, I'm coasting here on out. He's like, no, Papa. He's already eyeing up the other guys and stuff. It's okay. So let me see if I get over here and get me a little rest and really be competitive for the rest of the night. See if we can take home a victory.
All right, when we return, we take a look back, take a look at another elite volleyball player in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Stay with us. Welcome back to Whataburger's Inside High School Sports. The UIL volleyball playoffs started this week, and in 6A Division II, Southlake Carroll is hoping to make a run to state. Our Kenny Matthews tells us in this week's Next Level that the Dragons have a middle blocker who will be a key part in that quest.
Southlake Carroll has a deep tradition of elite volleyball players. Well, this year they have another elite talent in middle blocker, Kinsley Young. At 6'4", she has a huge height advantage at the net. As one of the best middle blockers in the state, she has elevated the Dragon team to be a dark horse to get to state. In the 2024 season, she recorded 368 kills, 124 blocks, and a hitting percentage of .454%. She was named the Dallas Morning News All-Area Blocker of the Year after the 2024 campaign. With her many accolades, she was also named First-Team Club All-American by Prep Volleyball in the summer of 2025. And Max Prep's top senior middle blockers list. She has collected over 250 blocks in her career. The TCU commit will have expectation to be an immediate contributor to the TCU volleyball program. Given her club and high school background, college coaches were enamored with her huge upside at the next level. As for now, Kinsley's looking to close out a banner career at Southlake Carroll with the result of becoming a state champion. With Kinsley's superior physical traits and her great natural skills as a blocker, TCU will look to build on their momentum as a volleyball program with another elite talent waiting in the wings.
Awesome work from Kenny there. All right, when we return, we'll take a look back at some of the best plays from last week. Stay with us. That's going to do it for this week's show. Be sure to tune in Thursday as cricket presents The Warm-Up. Neil Beasley and Professor Diggs break down all the big games and get you ready for the upcoming week of high school football. That's every Thursday morning. But we leave you now with some of the best plays from last week in our Plays of the Week segment.